talking about this musician aspect of your life and what you did with the show and all the success you've had. You said there's a couple that have gotten away from you. And the one person you always mention is Paul Simon. And me too. I've always wanted to interview Paul Simon. To me, what a great songwriter. If his music isn't the greatest, most touching.
I adore him. And for me, the reason that I really, really wanted to do it is my first or earliest experience of like singing in a car. So we always used to go on a holiday, me, my sisters, my mum and dad. We used to go on vacation to a trailer in Bournemouth, which is on the south coast of the UK. This was not a great holiday. We'd be on a trailer on a farm. And one year we went for 2 weeks and it rained, torrential rain. And on day 10, my mum said, we're going to go home. And the next day she said to my dad, next year, and all my friends, everybody used to go abroad. By this point, people started going abroad in Europe and these other things. She said, next year we're going abroad. So we then would drive. So we drive from our house to the coast, which was about 3 hours. We'd then go overnight or the whole day on a ferry. You park the car at the ferry, and then we drive 9 or 11-ish hours to the south of France.
It sounds horrible.
There. Well, and in many ways, you would say, however, they are some of my most joyous memories. And the particular album of those road trips was Graceland. My mum would just be asleep, and the four of us would just sing every single word. And like, there are lyrics on Graceland, and obviously all of his music. But for me, that album, I think, might be perfect. And there's the one song, that song Gumboots, where he's got a lyric where he says, "You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could," which I think sums up how any sort of stereotypically unattractive boy at the age of 14 or 15 feels about every girl at their school at the time. You don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. It's so optimistic.
And what's so brilliant about it is we've all lived that. We've all lived that. And he sums it up in one sentence.
One line.
Right.
One line. Who hasn't said that to a girl? When they've said, I like you, but as a friend, you say, you don't feel you could love me, but I feel you could. And so I had this idea where I was like, I would just give anything to drive around in a car with Paul Simon. And I had this idea that I would maybe try and surprise my mum and dad and my sisters, and that we'd all get in this car and sing the song. But Paul, like you say, he's difficult. He's hard to get. He's hard to get, and as he should be,